The core of my doctoral research is to discern the perspective of college educated African American women on college access and social capital. I am particularly interested in learning if and how the ability to attend college provided educated African American women with progressive opportunities within society. This would be my first question. What does education mean to you?
What does education mean to me? It means an opportunity for upward mobility for myself, and also an ability to gives me the ability to make a more significant contribution to society, and in particular to the African American community and to other minoritized communities, and disenfranchised and marginalized communities.
Thank you. Please share mine a little bit about yourself for a living.
I'm sorry, breaking up a little bit. What did you say?
My apologies. Share with me a little bit about yourself, specifically what you do for a living.
Oh, I am the department chair of counseling and advising at a community college.
Very well. Please share with me the educational background of the people in your household growing up.
Both of my parents attended community college. They actually met at a community college, and they both attended university, but neither one of them graduated from the university.
Okay. So they both went to institutions of higher ed, but left before they could obtain a degree.
That's right.
Any other people in the household? Other siblings?
Well, my siblings were all out of the house by the time I was 4 or 5 years old. So I didn't grow up with them.
Okay. As you think about the various life influences that are particular factors that you believe attributed to your decision to attend college. So what particular factors do you believe attributed to your decision to attend college?
I think it was the teachers that I had in elementary school. And it was also just, it was always a given that I would attend college because my parents attended, they just didn't graduate. So that was a part of it. And, I always did well in school. My teachers always told me that, that I was smart and that I could go to college and graduate. So, I mean, it was just always assumed that I would attend. I think for those reasons. And also television had a big impact on me. I grew up as an only child and I was a latchkey kid, and I watched a lot of television, specifically a lot of soap operas, unfortunately. But One Life to Live, General Hospital, All My Children, all those people, were professionals. And even though most of them didn't look like me, I wanted to live the life that they were living. And I just assumed that a part of that was being able to do that was to graduate from college.
Okay. You kind of alluded to, or answered this a little bit, but think more about, are there particular social and political influences that you attribute to your attending college?
Social and political influences. I can't think of any political influences, but the social influences were, the teachers, the media. I think my environment as well. I grew up in a low income neighborhood. And, there was drug dealing, there was prostitution, there was gang violence. And I knew that education or getting an education was the way out of that.
So did that kind of send you a message to pursue your education? Because for some who've grown up in that environment, maybe they got a different message. This is the I should take over here.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, I think, influenced me in terms of positively. I knew that I didn't want to grow up to live in that kind of neighborhood because it wasn't what I saw on television. It wasn't what I saw in the soap operas. Nobody lived like that. So I said, oh, well, I think I need to go to college and graduate and get a good job. And that would prevent me from having to live in this kind of neighborhood when I grow up.
Okay. So when you think about the messages you've received about attending college, do you think they were consistent messages for all members of the community? For example, think the message was depending on gender, depending on age, depending on race?
Excuse me. I think in my community, the message was consistently sent to all groups. And I say in my community, meaning, considering that I grew up going to Catholic schools, Catholic elementary schools. And so all of the teachers there encouraged, and we were all African-American children. And it was an African-American community, although all the teachers weren't African-American. Excuse me. So the message was consistent to all of the children in the school that you will attend college, you will be successful, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. Ultimately, what is the one thing or one person that most significantly influenced attendance to college?
One thing or one person? I would imagine that it started with my parents, even though there were a lot of factors that influenced me. I think the most significant was the expectation that they held and made clear that I would go to college.
Yeah. Assume you never attended due to lack of opportunity. How would your life be different? Was attending college worth it?
Excuse me. It was definitely worth it. If I had not attended college, I certainly would not hold the job that I have right now. The job requires a master's degree and several years of experience working in the counseling field. And so I definitely wouldn't have that. I wouldn't make the salary that I make now, which enables me to take care of myself. Even though I wish it were higher. But yeah, I wouldn't have all of that if I had not attended college. So it was worth it.
All right. Many people attribute social capital, upward mobility, economic success, and just overall increased life satisfaction as benefits to obtaining a college degree. Can you share with me any social capital, upward mobility, and economic success and overall life satisfaction that you've experienced since attending college?
Since attending college. So I think that attending college has given me a lot of opportunities to make contributions to society that have been significant. And I value that almost as highly as I value my ability to be able to take care of myself and pay my bills and that sort of thing. That has contributed to my life satisfaction in a major way. I wouldn't be able to be an educator if I had not attended college. And being an educator is a big part of my identity and a big part of my life satisfaction. I appreciate the ability to be able to teach students, to help them acquire skills that help them learn and grow and develop as human beings, and realize their potential, and then graduate and be able to take care of themselves and their families. The other day, I met with a student who was an adult learner. Maybe she was in her 40s or so, and she had attended like a business college. She went to school for like being able to do administrative assistant kind of work, and she wanted to earn a college degree, and she's going on about how she was divorced and she had to go into a career that would allow her to take care of herself and her children, and she didn't want to be in a position where if the child support check didn't come, then the children wouldn't be able to eat or be taken care of. And so she talks about how she got the mailer from the college in her mail, and it said, I will complete my education on the front cover. And she said, yeah, I can do this too. I can do it. And so she came in, she met with me. It was about career planning and the career that she wanted to obtain and getting started in college. And she said, I feel so bad. I'm just starting college so late and I feel like a zero, and I'm just a zero. And I said, you're not a zero. You are a mother. She was a survivor of domestic violence and her marriage, and just the fact that I was able to encourage her that she could attend college, that she could graduate, that she could be successful, that she could get a job that would allow her to take care of herself and her children. I mean, to me, it doesn't get better than that, to be able to impact somebody's life like that and to be one of the people who encourages them to improve their lives. I mean, that's huge life satisfaction for me.
Thank you. Do you feel everyone receives the same benefits from receiving a college education?
Everyone. I think while most people would benefit, I think the benefits that minoritized communities or people from ethnic minority populations may receive fewer benefits. It may be at times more difficult for us to achieve economic mobility. So I don't think that everybody benefits in the same way.
You kind of touched on it, saying specifically minority communities, but I dig a little deeper. What, if anything, do you then attribute the difference in the benefits from a college education?
What do I attribute the benefits to?
Well, the difference said, minority, those in minority or from minority or ethnic backgrounds would have a difference. So do you attribute race? Is it socioeconomics? What makes it different that they don't get the same benefit?
I think it's definitely race. Excuse me. I think it's definitely I think it's social capital. I think when you're from a minoritized community, you just don't know the same things that people from white communities know, because in general, our families are less educated, and so they don't talk to their children about the same kinds of things. I mean, my parents didn't talk to me about sort of majoring in the right fields or doing other things that would allow me to benefit from my education in a better way than I have, because they didn't know. So I think that happens to other people from economically disadvantaged families. And those families tend to be from African American or Latino communities.
Okay. As an attendee of institution of higher education, whether it was a predominantly white institution, historically black college or university, what role, if any, do you think racism played in your college experience?
So I attended predominantly white institutions, and I remember my first year as an undergraduate. You know how they have orientation and you get to know the other students and all of that. There were discussions that we had during orientation in which other students, white students, were very vocal about the fact that they were angry that their friends who were also white were not able to gain admission into the predominantly white institution that we attended, even though they had really high ACT scores and high grade point averages, et cetera, while African American and Latino students who did not have high ACT scores or ACT scores that were as high as their friends' ACT scores, et cetera, gained admission to the university and were attending. So that was like the first day of my college experience. And you learn about how the other white students around you feel about you and feel about your attendance. Because I was one of those students who benefited from affirmative action, who did not have a high ACT score. I had a very high grade point average because I did very well in high school, took honors classes, those kinds of things. But I got a 23 on my ACT, you know, but I knew that I was capable of doing well at that competitive institution. And I did. I mean, I graduated with the highest grade point average of all African American students in my major. But yeah, that you know, made me feel uncomfortable, you know, at the institution. And then to top it off, when I met my roommate, she was Swedish from Minnesota. I mean, with the accent and everything. And I don't think she had much contact with African American people in her community. So when she saw me, when she first met me, I mean, her eyes just got big and she's like, oh, you could tell she was thinking, oh my goodness, I have a Black roommate. And I don't know what she thought that would be like. I don't know why the name Takesha did not,
If you've never heard it.
right, didn't tip her off that I was Black. But for whatever reason, it didn't. And the institution, I found out, was they were very intentional about the way that they matched up students to be roommates. They, if you said on your application or whatever, your housing application, that you wanted to be matched up with another African American student, they would generally not honor that request. They were intentional about putting you with someone from a different racial or ethnic background. That it was like a forced living experience. I don't know if it was an experiment or what, but they made sure that they put us with with white students instead of other people from African American communities.
Okay. Take me back to talk a little bit about benefiting from action. What if there was no affirmative action here?
If there was no affirmative action, I would have still attended college. I would have attended whatever institution would have accepted my GPA and ACT scores. It probably would have been a broad access institution, probably a public university. but I still would have attended. Maybe I would have attended the local university, which was a broad access, predominantly Black institution. And I would have graduated and earned my degree, and everything would have been fine. So I don't think that it would have made a big difference in terms of the job that I secured and that kind of thing. Just because I ended up in education, and nobody really cares where you got your degree from in the field of education, as long as it was an accredited institution. So I don't know that it would have made a difference there, but I think graduating from the competitive, I'm sorry, can you hear my husband? He's loud.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can take care of that. Hold on a second. And I also need to plug in my computer because my battery is low. Hold on just a second.
Yep.
Okay. I'm back. Hold on. Let me plug in. Okay. And I've closed the door so my loud husband won't be heard. Okay, I'm sorry. What was the question?
So we're actually wrapping up. This is my last question. When you think about the prospects of attending college in your specific college experience, what role did the experience play in your current life situation?
What role did the what play?
Did these experiences, attending college, your specific college experience, what role did they play in your current life?
Oh, in terms of having gained admission to and successfully matriculated through competitive, predominantly white institutions, I think it gave me the confidence that I could do whatever I wanted to do professionally. It gave me the knowledge that I could succeed in, even in circles where there was great academic rigor. I don't think I would have known that otherwise. And, who knows, maybe I would have made some different choices in my life because I didn't have that confidence, So, yeah, I think I benefited in that way.
Well, I just want to thank you for taking time out to be interviewed. I really appreciate that. And thank you so much.
You're welcome.